I promise you, I'm not crazy. The real estate crowdfunding industry is seeing a phenomenal level of growth. And in today's video, we're talking about a few different ways you can actually make money with real estate crowdfunding. And honestly, I am surprised by how well some of the platforms are doing. For example, CrowdStreet recently reported to Crowdfund Insider that they've posted over $1.7 billion with 60 real estate crowdfunding offerings through their marketplace. And also, they've seen over $400 million in investor funds with sponsors who use their Sponsor Direct program. Platforms like Realty Mogul have signed up more than 80,000 investors on their website, which has translated to over $200 million in investment in debt and equity transaction. They've also launched Mogul REIT, which is similar to Fundrise's eREIT. So how can you actually get a piece of the action? That's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. The first way is to start an entirely new real estate crowdfunding platform. It's still not too late to start your own. You could have access to a network of investors, or maybe you want to build a marketplace of investors and sponsors. Given the growing popularity of REITs, you could also use Regulation A+ of the Jobs Act to offer this kind of investment vehicle to your investors. And I go through a lot of different technical ways to do this with my book, Real Estate Crowdfunding Explained. There are a lot of different options that you can choose from. I also discuss the bare basics of a business plan for the website. And I think it's really important to have the right technology to ensure secure transactions on the platform. I also think it's important to have a very strong marketing plan. As the industry becomes more and more crowded, you're going to have to design a platform that has major competitive advantages to the other platforms out there. Otherwise, how are you going to stand out? In my opinion, crowdfunding is still really in the early stages, and education should be the top priority. And this is honestly why I'm dedicated to putting out the best information out there on crowdfunding. You're going to have to educate investors and property owners as to how they can use your platform. The second way to make money in this industry is to provide ancillary services, be they legal, tax, etc. Whenever a company raises a major round of funding, there will always be legal and tax implications to take into consideration. And there will also be other service providers who help with various aspects of the transaction. For example, Mark Roderick is an attorney who is cashing in on crowdfunding with his blog, Crowdfund Attorney. He is one of the leading lawyers in the U.S. in this area and recently was selected to keynote and moderate RealCap Chicago, a real estate crowdfunding conference. He represents platforms, portals, issuers throughout the industry. Anytime a new industry emerges, there are always room for experts. If you decide that you want to provide key services to players in this space, you could turn out to be the go-to service provider and get a piece of the action. The third way to make money in this industry is to join a platform and invest. Not every platform is open to non-accredited investors, but many are and are now adopting REIT-style products like Fundrise. You can incorporate these investments as part of your overall portfolio. Keep in mind that many of these investments are illiquid, meaning that there is no publicly traded marketplace to redeem your shares. Depending on the type of investment, you might have to wait for a liquidation event like the sale of a property or the opportunity to sell your shares to other investors on the platform. There are also platforms open there for accredited investors like Realty Shares and some debt or fixed income focused real estate crowdfunding websites. If you're interested, like Patch of Land, they advertise that you can earn upwards of 12% of your investment per year. Others like Fundrise tout a 13% approximate average net returns in 2015, and Realty Shares also compares the difference between an investment in the S&P 500 versus real estate in 2001. Real estate would give you a 10.75% annual return versus a 5% annual return for the S&P 500. What I like about investing through one of these marketplaces is you don't have to commit huge sums. You can invest less than $5,000 to get a feel for the marketplace, and it won't break the bank. The fourth way that you can make money in the real estate crowdfunding industry is to refer investors to crowdfunding websites. These crowdfunding sites are always looking for new investors to join their platform, and you can make money as an affiliate by doing that. if you have access to a pool of accredited or non-accredited investors, you might be able to make out a deal with a crowdfunding website and be compensated for referrals. For example, Realty Shares has an awesome affiliate program that will compensate you for qualified investors that you refer to their marketplace, and I will link that up in the description of this video and also here so that you can check that out. Of course, your relationship with these investors is paramount. We tend to invest in companies or buy products that we know, like, and trust. I'm a huge fan of a win-win scenario where everyone gains. The investor makes money, the sponsor makes money, the platform makes money, and you are getting a cut for referring that investor. The fifth and final way to make money in the real estate crowdfunding industry is to build a brand on a platform. Whenever a marketplace emerges, there are a lot of winners and losers. For example, if you browse the Kickstarter marketplace, it's very easy to see which companies have absolutely crushed it and are raising bunches of money. As long as they didn't have any fulfillment issues, they've officially gone down in crowdfunding history as a success story. They continue to profit from the positive brand attention. Real estate managers or developers have the opportunity to build a strong relationship with these growing platforms. They can also put themselves in the position of developing a relationship with a community of investors. This is important for a few different reasons. First of all, it makes it easier to get future rounds of financing. If you've already delivered a profitable deal with a great ROI, investors are much more likely to trust you and put money into your next deal. Second, as you build up your brand in the marketplace, you begin to see side benefits that also emerge. You could take the form of new connections, it could take the form of introductions or access to insider knowledge about the industry. This is extremely valuable because it's a competitive advantage. You'll basically have a leg up on your rivals. Finally, naturally, the more deals you do on a particular platform, the more you're going to grow your revenue in the long term. You'll also be able to carefully analyze the sticking points of your operation. Maybe you overestimate the return that you bring to various investors, or you aren't particularly accurate about the completion of a property. By having a dashboard that tracks all of the information related to the investment, you'll be able to see where you need to improve going forward. In conclusion, real estate crowdfunding, I think, is really primed to disrupt the entire real estate financing ecosystem. I think it's going to be on everyone's radar in the next few years. And for now, it's kind of more of a fringe activity. It's kind of an alternative investment activity, but there's a lot more to be learned and there's a lot more to go. So if you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would also love it if you could ask any questions down below. And finally, if you do want to check out more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and you'll get an email notification every time I come out with a new video.